When is Jayson Tatum going to arrive? Or does he have that dog in him to arrive?
You can't depend on him. You're not going to depend on him in the finals. I think Jayson Tatum is going to be a star for the next 10 years. I highly doubt he's a superstar. And I watch the Celtics, and I still don't trust them years later.
With the expectations elevating, he seems to have taken a decline, a step back.
Anything's possible. The Celtics are NBA champions.
What they gonna say now? What they gonna say now?
Well, Jayson Tatum just humiliated the NBA. After years of failing to make it past the hump and dealing with criticism upon criticism, it kind of looked like it just wasn't gonna happen. But here we are today. Jayson Tatum is an NBA champion. And he just made a large portion of the NBA community look like a bunch of idiots who don't know ball. So let's check out how exactly he took the criticism, got better because of it, and evolved to be a certified winning player. And what he did? Well, it makes him comparable to guys like LeBron, Wilt Chamberlain, Steph Curry, and other all-time greats. And in my opinion, he did make Kobe proud with his finals performance. Like, I know it sounds crazy. He wasn't even the finals MVP, but just stay and hear me out. Jayson Tatum, for better or worse, was in the headlines literally as soon as he got drafted. He, of course, became the third pick of the draft, where Boston decided to trade down from the first overall pick. And all throughout his rookie season, he proved the genius of the Celtics front office with every game he played. And he proved this even more in the playoffs, being the de facto best player of the Celtics after their all-stars Kyrie and Gordon Hayward went down with injuries. Culminated with JT dragging LeBron and the Cavs to 7 games and producing what would be his star-making highlight.
5 remaining. Tatum drives down and throws it down! Wow!
The Rookie of the Year race was really just between Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons, but Jayson Tatum was the one who came out of the 2018 playoffs as the guy who looked like he could really be an all-time great.
With Jayson, I just love everything about the kid. The way he plays the game, his demeanor, he's just built for stardom. He's built for success, and that's both on and off the floor.
Not a bad start in the league, getting LeBron's approval. But then, this is where most of the disappointment and underachieving started. 2019, second-round exit against the Milwaukee Bucks, with Tatum as the second option, after a disappointing regular season as the preseason favorites. 2020, another conference finals loss, this time as the favorites, and an all-NBA Tatum as the Celtics' best player and talisman. They lost to the underdog Miami Heat, with Tatum's 2020 playoff run being immortalized by this highlight.
Tatum out front. Clock at 7. Working against Butler. Got downhill. Couldn't punch it. Bam says, get it out of here. Out of bio.
2021 was a forgettable year, losing in 5 games against the Big Three Nets, though he did manage to squeeze in a 50-point game to extend the series. 2022 looked to be their most frustrating and disappointing season yet, going below 500 in the middle of the season. But JT and the guys managed to turn this around, going all the way to the NBA Finals for the first time in JT's young career. This was after games like scoring 46 points in Game 6 against the Bucks to extend the series to a Game 7, and 31 points plus a game winner against the Nets. This was the Celtics' chance at the dream redemption arc, from a heartbreaking loss against the Knicks that sent them to the basement of the East to a chance to win the city's 18th banner. This dream, unfortunately, turned into a nightmare.
And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world.
The Celtics as a whole, but Tatum in particular, he had a terrible series, and an especially terrible Game 6. 13 points in an NBA Finals elimination game. Only 2 points in the second half. As the Celtics' best player, he just wasn't great. In the game where the city really needed him to be great. And this is the point where the media went in on Tatum and the Celtics, and when the NBA community seemed to get into agreement that Tatum's Celtics will never win a ring.
I just want your reaction to what you just heard from Jayson.
When is Jayson Tatum going to arrive? Or does he have that dog in him to arrive?
Tatum's starting to feel like Andrew Wiggins. Really, really talented. You can't depend on him. You're not going to depend on him in the finals. I think Jayson Tatum is going to be a star for the next 10 years. I highly doubt he's a superstar.
So yes, Jayson Tatum deserves a lot of blame for this.
This was the final series that people looked at and decided that Jayson Tatum is a good player, is a star, but a star can never get it done. That the Celtics just won't win a ring with JT as their best player. This was justified in the next season, after saving his legacy in Game 6 of the Sixers series to get to Game 7, and then putting up a record-setting 51 points. He lost to the Miami Heat again, an 8th-seeded Miami team, after helping Boston claw their way back from a 0-3 deficit. Granted, he got injured in the opening minutes of the deciding Game 7, but that didn't stop the media from ganging up on him. And that's why this season, even after dominating the regular season, after losing just 2 games in the postseason before the finals, people still didn't pick Boston to win. The NBA community were somehow in agreement that the Mavs were the underdogs in the 2024 NBA Finals, after which they picked the Mavs to win in 5 or 6. They said that the Mavs had the 2 best players of the series. The Tatum and the Celtics will fold to this more battle-tested team, just like they do every year. Tatum's shot randomly just stopped falling one game. He'd try to be Kobe and shoot fadeaways, making his field goal percentage go down and down and down, as the Celtics face another collapse once again. That's what most NBA talking heads thought, anyway. But what happened?
Pass inside to Tatum. Tatum double team, gets inside and throws it down. Tatum gets past Lively, goes inside, the layup, bank shot, it's good, and the foul. 9 assists in the first half. Tatum sidestep three-pointer, it's good! Jayson!
Yes, his shot didn't fall consistently. His shooting efficiency wasn't remotely great. Luka Doncic outscored him almost every game. Jaylen Brown was more consistent offensively and was the one who made the crucial shots in the tense moments. And yet, here we are. Jayson Tatum is an NBA champion. And he was the one who ensured the job was finished in Game 5. 31 points, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds to bury the Mavs. And finally get the job done. And everyone who's criticized them, all of them, well, they've got egg on their face. Colin said that Tatum isn't a superstar. JT was definitely getting superstar coverage in those finals. How else could his teammates be so open for those threes? Perk asked Jayson Tatum when he's gonna arrive, or if he had that dog in him. Well, he certainly had enough of a dog in him to get it done. He was there to lead the Celtics in points, rebounds, and assists. And he was definitely there to do everything it took for the Celtics to win. And that really is the reason why he is finally a champion right now. He did everything it took for the Celtics to win. This statement seems like, a throwaway compliment maybe, to a player who just won a ring. But what I really meant by that is he did what his team needed. And most importantly, he didn't let his ego get in the way. Yes, he shot pretty poorly for the majority of the series, but he was downright their best playmaker throughout it too. Had 12 assists in Game 2. And 11 in Game 5, with 9 coming in that first half, which was why they really won the game. He was also pulling down boards like crazy, and was defending as good as everyone else in the Celtics. And this is what I mean when I say that he did what the greats did, which was to do what it takes to win, and not think of anything else. LeBron, opposite to what Tatum did, took on the role of the alpha of the team in 2012 and really dominated. Despite being a playmaker at heart, he had to be truly dominant, as he could be, and be more aggressive. Wilt Chamberlain had to rely more on his teammates, even dropping his PPG from 33 to 24 in order to win a ring. Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, got the greatest championship insurance in 2016, Kevin Durant, and choose to be the second option and complement KD, even if that meant he was going to miss out on 2 finals MVPs. Jayson Tatum saw the situation, saw that his shots weren't really falling, and chose to be more of a playmaker while getting boards and playing hard on defense. He chose to be effective in all other areas instead of just shooting and not doing anything else. He recognized that him scoring a bunch of points isn't the only way to win a ring, and it definitely wasn't gonna win them a ring this year. No, he allowed guys like Derek White and Drew Holiday to flourish. He was more than willing to play off of his running mate Jaylen Brown, so much so that JB was the one who won Finals MVP. And it's what the star players have to do to get a ring. They have to do what it takes to win. They have to do what it takes to be the most effective on the court and to be conducive to winning. It might be to let go of their ego to defer to their teammates. It might be to stop deferring to their teammates so much and start dominating like we know they can. Yes, I'm referring to Joel Embiid. As for JT, it was to be an all-around two-way point forward, instead of simply being just a scorer. And despite what everyone said, he did find a formula to win. The NBA community clowned Tatum a lot, mostly for being a corny Kobe wannabe. You know, the "I got you today" text. And for not getting the Celtics a ring. And everybody can still say what they want to say, but it will never take away from the fact that Jayson Tatum is a champion. Being Kobe-like isn't just about the fadeaways or the trash talking, or the 100% contested three-pointers. No, it's about doing what it takes to win. And in that regard, after everything that was being said about him, Jayson Tatum was more Kobe-like than what everyone expected. And he just made the entire NBA look foolish.